So I don't know if you heard, tomorrow morning there's going to be a Pokemon Direct, and assuming that everything goes well, I will be live streaming that Direct and live reacting to it with all of you, and that should be a lot of fun. It'll be our first major direct live stream of the year. So I look forward to seeing all of you there. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully I get the stream going about a half hour beforehand so we can maybe hype it up a bit. It's going to be about 20 minutes long, the actual Pokemon Direct. So we'll kind of do like a half hour stream into it. We'll do our live reaction, and then we'll talk a little bit about it after the fact. But one thing I have been noticing on the internet when I look at the timing of the Direct and I look at people's reactions, there seems to be a lot of negative reactions to the fact that a Pokemon Direct is even coming. Now, I understand why some people might be negative about it. One, people really want a general Nintendo Direct, and right now there is not a general Nintendo Direct announced for this month, so that has some people worried. And also, I think that some people are kind of ready to have a break from Pokemon news. We just got Sword and Shield less than 2 months ago, so to have another Pokemon Direct so soon feels a bit off-putting for some people, because they just want to hear something that's not Pokemon. And yeah, there could be some DLC plans here. There could be, a new Pokken Fighter. There could be another Mystery Dungeon game, or more spin-offs, or talk of mobile games, more talk of Pokemon Go, or something. Like, there could be some stuff in here. They could even announce remakes for this year if they want. Either another Let's Go game or a Sinnoh remake or something. I know that was trending on Twitter for a bit. So I know that there is a lot of potential that could excite some people here, in particular Pokemon fans, but I think in general a lot of Switch fans are kind of ready for some non-Pokemon news before we get flooded with more Pokemon news. And Switch Force is actually a prime example of this. They put up a video yesterday, which was the day that it was announced. Again, it's happening tomorrow morning, I believe 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I think. But whatever, I'll have a stream set up ahead of time with the time and everything, and you guys can just go follow that. This is the first Nintendo Direct 2020. Nintendo's making a big mistake. And it kind of works on this premise that Nintendo traditionally does these individual game or franchise-based directs, and then it's usually 2 weeks to a month or more before we get another Direct. So basically, because we're getting a Pokemon Direct means we're not getting a general Nintendo Direct in January. That's basically the premise of it. And Zach, in this case, is very upset about the fact that we're just going to get Pokemon news this month and nothing else, and that could be the case. However, the very first comment basically owns this entire video, and this is something that I don't know how many people are aware of, but Pokemon having its own special Direct actually has nothing to do with when the next Direct is coming, and oftentimes the next Direct comes a week later. Here are the exact dates and examples as given up by this guy named Extreme. It says Pokemon Direct, September 4th, 2013. Nintendo Direct, 4 days later, September 8th, 2013. Pokemon Direct, February 26th, 2016. Nintendo Direct, 1 week later, March 3rd, 2016. Pokemon Direct, June 7th, 2017. Nintendo Direct, this is again E3, June 13th, 2017. Pokemon Direct, June 6th, 2019. This was last year. Then obviously we had the Nintendo Direct 5 days later for, or the Nintendo Digital Event, or whatever they're calling it now, for E3 on June 11th, 2019. So yeah, the last two were because of E3, but the two prior ones were not. So them doing a Pokemon Direct now does not mean that we can't get a Nintendo Direct next week. And I projected next week on the 14th, I believe, is when I figured we might get a Direct. That would actually fall right in line with these kind of dates that we're seeing, 5-6 days later. So I don't think that I think it's a little premature, I guess, to be upset. If you want to be upset by the end of February, and this is the only news we get from Nintendo is a Pokemon Direct, then be upset in hindsight, because then you can look back and be like, yeah, it did kind of suck that all we heard about was, some Pokemon spin-off games or something. Although I know, if they announce like a Pokemon Snap 2, so there's going to be people, including myself, that are going to literally fall out of my chair in excitement. But that being said, I am ready for more than Pokemon news. I mean, to be honest, I'm ready for more than Animal Crossing news. And you have to figure Animal Crossing is going to be a big deal in the next Direct. That's the next major game coming out. And they've been slow building hype in Japan with small trailers and this and that. And obviously, Animal Crossing is a little bit of a weird game, because you don't want to give away everything you can find in the game, everything you can make in the game. But we know what Animal Crossing is. just like with The Sims and other games that are kind of a life simulation of sorts, like what the game is. There isn't only so much you can tease without just giving away everything. So I'm very curious how they're going to handle the hype cycle for Animal Crossing. But I'm ready for more. We know Emily Rogers, put out there that there's at least 2 new Wii U ports coming. Those could be announced in a direct potentially. But more than that, I think we want new games. I think we want to see more of Breath of the Wild 2. We want to know what's next for Mario. We want to know, what's next for Mario Kart. I mean, we haven't had an original Mario Kart game in quite some time. It'd be nice to know what's next for that franchise. Are we going to get an ARMS 2? Is that something that might be on the slate? Some people wondering about Splatoon 3. Some people wondering about a lot of different games. Even games you haven't seen in a while, like a Kid Icarus or something. Last one was Kid Icarus Uprising on 3DS. Are we going to get a new Kid Icarus game? There's just a lot we don't know about Nintendo the rest of this year. And I think that's what's leading to the disappointment here. I think if this Direct happened after a standard Nintendo Direct, people would be less concerned and less upset. But because it's the first Direct announced of the year when we're so starving, literally starving to see what the lineup is for this year, I think that's really the issue. I think it's just a timing issue. But again, remember, as Extreme points out, this doesn't mean we're not going to get a general Nintendo Direct. In fact, based on the dates given, you could argue this could actually point to the fact that we will have a Nintendo Direct next week. But, we'll have to wait and see. Pokemon Directs don't come around that often. Just pointing that out, they don't actually come around that often. So they seem to always be a precursor, so then maybe the main Direct isn't so Pokemon dominated. Maybe that's the idea. Also, we have to remember the Pokemon Company likes to do their own thing. They don't like to operate within Nintendo's framework of wanting the hype games. So that's also a thing to consider as well. That maybe they just don't want to be in a Direct too because we want our own event. We're too big for a Nintendo Direct or something. But you'll see this throughout the comments. There's remakes. Bro, chill. We'll get a real Direct by the end of next month. By the end of February is what they're saying. Have a new Smash character potentially. We don't care, not give us money. Another Zach complaining video. Like, you're kind of a lot, but a lot of whining about Directs. Like, and it's not just I know this is kind of piling on Switch Force, but it's not just Switch Force. I've seen this on Twitter. I've seen this in just a lot of places. Switch Force is just an easy one to call out because they're a public entity and they created a public-facing video criticizing this. I don't think we could. I don't think you can criticize a Pokemon Direct until we see it. You can be skeptical. That's fine. If Zach and others want to be skeptical of the Direct, that's okay. But you can't criticize something when we don't know what the content is yet. So once we have the Direct here, then criticize it. And remember that a Pokemon Direct does not mean we can't get another Direct this month. So we can still get a general Direct next week or the week after. It could still happen, and I firmly believe will happen. And no, I don't have any insider knowledge on that, so you can't look at me and take it to the bank. But I am predicting we will get a Nintendo Direct this month. But it's a prediction, not something I have any information to actually confirm, except maybe the fact that we are getting a Pokemon Direct, and there does seem to be some correlation between Pokemon Directs and Nintendo Directs. Now, that being said, what do I expect in this Pokemon Direct? That's kind of a toss-up because it is early to get Pokemon news so soon after Sword and Shield. So I do expect an announcement of certain events, raid events or whatever in the game, Sword and Shield. I do expect spin-off announcements. There's going to be a major spin-off. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what Pokemon Tournament's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a Mystery Dungeon or what. I have no idea. Maybe it's Detective Pikachu 2. There is supposed to be a second Detective Pikachu movie in the works. So having another game to come before that might be something that they might want to do. So that's possible. Obviously, I always expect to see a little bit of mobile news, whether it's on Go or whether it's on any other mobile offering they're working on. Magikarp Jump. We haven't heard about that game in a while. So I expect basically a smattering of smaller things that excites a bunch of little mini crowds inside the Pokemon community. Now, do I expect them to announce the whatever the big Pokemon game is going to be at the end of this year, whatever remake it's going to be or whatever? I don't know if they're going to announce that yet, but they could. They could prematurely. I think it's not really premature. It is 2020. I guess they could tell us that we are going to get a Pokemon game at the end of this year. So that is something that is on the table and would excite some people. I know, again, Sinnoh Remake was literally like trending on Twitter yesterday, so I'm sure that remake in particular would really excite some people. But we'll see. We don't know what's going to happen. And that's why I don't want to put too much out there and put too much expectation on. Like, I don't want to be like, man, wouldn't it be great if we got Pokemon? Like, I don't want to overhype a Pokemon Direct when they're really all over the place on whether or not they deliver. Kind of like normal Nintendo Directs. At least with normal Directs, there's such a wide smattering of games that you can be like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But here it's like, okay, it's something Pokemon. We're getting Pokemon news. That's what's happening. So it is what it is. You're just going to have to live with it. Just don't forget that like Tokyo Mirage Sessions is coming out this year on Switch. Don't forget about Animal Crossing coming out this year. Don't forget about the Doom Eternals, the Outer Worlds that are coming out later this year as well. Like, we have a decent lineup of games already. We just want to know the rest. And I get why people are being critical, but it's too soon. Let's wait. Let's at least wait till the end of the month before you could say, man, we should have had a Nintendo Direct instead of the Pokemon Direct. Or at least, can we at least wait till the Pokemon Direct's done before we even have that opinion? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like, I want a general Nintendo Direct, but can we at least wait and see what this Direct is? And then we can go from there. Anyways, I am Nathaniel Ruffle Jantz. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is my channel, Nate Jantz. That's what I typically go by. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Drop a like on this video. Subscribe for more content. And yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow live streaming this. Also, be sure to come back later tonight. We do have the Nintendo Prime podcast tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is a live stream Nintendo podcast. We have the full crew on board here. We got Eric and 5J coming in, so be sure to come in, check it out, enjoy your time. Leave your comments and ask your questions. We have a little Q&A section part of it as well. Good times are coming, and I'll catch you guys tonight, if not tomorrow. Peace out.